Nothing like a well-read black woman. Nothing like a well-read black woman. Child, I got time today. Well, I only have time because I'm back from my internship. But I was like, let me go ahead and address this because my notifications was blowing up in the middle of the workday. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And I look, I'm getting hella DMs from random fan accounts. I start looking at the QRTs, right? The quote tweets of that Enhypen article because they're like, no, it started because I got a comment on my TikTok account and somebody was like, can you please, yada, yada, like, because they're dragging Enhypen, whatever. So I'm like, what? So I go to Twitter and I check to see what they're talking about. And I look at the quote tweets of the Grammy Twitter post about my Enhypen article. And all I see is everybody going in about the drill music thing. Because they said they were inspired by drill music, basically, for their lead single for this album that just dropped last week. And yeah, they were inspired by other genres as well, but the title track was Chicago drill. So I guess whoever is doing the social account for Grammy picked out that as the headline, put that in the Twitter post and posted it, not thinking anything about it. And I didn't think anything about it either because I just don't care that much, to be honest. But so then they was getting dragged in the QRTs. There's a whole bunch of, like, I don't know what fan base or anything. I think it might have just been random K-pop fans, but they was just getting dragged in the quote tweets. And the people were DMing me like, can you change the headline and can you do this? And I'm like, y'all, I don't know what y'all want me to do because I have no control over that. Like, I don't tweet from the Recording Academy's Twitter account. I don't pick headlines for the articles. Like, and then people are like, oh, can you get them to change this or delete? And I'm like, y'all, they are not about to delete this tweet with 30,000 likes, especially if Enhypen's official Twitter account already retweeted it. Like, we already had to make some other edits to the article that Enhypen's team asked for. So they're okay with it, okay? They were okay with how everything was presented. They retweeted it. So I'm like, if the group and their people have no problem with it, then there's not much that we can do. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. There's always some new drama, some new beef on K-pop Twitter, and people really just need to not take stuff so seriously online. Like, I get that people want to protect their favorite groups and yada, 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 but, like, it's just, like, people thinking way too hard about the situation. And the people coming for Enhypen kind of didn't make no sense to me either. Now, this is where it got a little wonky because I was, I'm doing my digging and I'm seeing that people are saying, oh, they dragging the interviewer too. And I'm like, who dragging me? How I'm in it? Like, I didn't see any actual dragging of me. But I'm like, who dragging me on the internet? Because I know a bunch of K-pop fans is not speaking on me. I was like, that's where we're not going to go. Especially if you claim to be pro-black. Like, huh? I was very confused. I'm like, where do I come into this? It's not that deep, bruh. I'm like, how I get in it? Because they were like, some of these tweets said, oh, they're calling her a coon. And they had the little rat emoji. And I'm like, who calling me a coon? Say it in uppercase letters. Tag me, please. Because who is a coon? Not I. And I'm like, the last person calling me a coon should be any K-pop stan. Nobody who stan any group should be calling me no coon. That's all. I was like, that had nothing that don't even make any sense to me. But I was like, that was the first time I seen that. I did not expect them to be going crazy over the word Chicago drill. And I think it's because we haven't seen a lot of drill in K-pop, but let's be clear here. Every group and their mama does hip hop, R&B concepts, which are very much black music, right? So I'm like, how are we gonna say all of a sudden, because it's drill specifically, that we have a problem with them doing it when y'all support groups that do hip hop and R&B concepts, even reggae sometimes, disco even, all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do you draw the line? Because there's been a lot of groups in the past that have done CA, that have worn, you know, groups that I've liked in the past, like NCT, EXO, Rev Out. Like, you can name a whole bunch of groups. So I'm like, why is this what's getting people upset? I was a little confused. I'm like, this is extremely mild compared to other stuff that I've seen in K-pop. Like, I'm like, this is, I didn't get any offense from anything they said in that whole conversation. So it was baffling to me. And also, but I don't understand why people will see a tweet and then jump to conclusions and then not even read the article. Like, before I speak on something, I'm gonna make sure I got all my information correct. Like, you don't just go speaking on stuff when you ain't even checked out the article and you making statements and I don't know. And like, obviously the song is not straight up drill music. Like, drill music has a bunch of elements that K-pop groups just can't emulate for multiple reasons. I think more so it's an inspired by thing. A very loose inspiration, I think. Not anything crazy. They're not dressing like black people. They're not wearing cornrows. They're not pretending to be hood. Like, it was very, very mild. So I was just confused. Yeah, so basically, for people that just came in and are confused, so I interviewed Enhypen for the Grammys, and the Grammy account tweeted it yesterday, and all of a sudden today, a bunch of quote tweets were dragging Enhypen for saying they were inspired by drill music or whatever, because their lead single is a drill-inspired drill song. Yeah, so I'm like, so I was just very surprised at the backlash from random K-pop stans, because I was like, I thought we pretty much came to the conclusion that K-pop takes heavy inspiration from black music across genres. Like, I thought that was a well-known thing. So I'm like, why are we pinpointing this particular genre and saying black people can't have nothing? But I'm like, this has been an ongoing thing since the inception of K-pop. I'm like, why are we picking and choosing this particular thing and getting upset about it? That's what I was confused about. Right, because I'm like, there's plenty of white people who actually benefit very heavily from appropriation who y'all don't check about a lot of stuff. So I was confused. Now, for the person saying, wait, so black people can't do meta or EDM, black people actually created those genres that y'all think white people do. It's just that white people appropriated and stole it, and now they're like the face of it, including rock music. Like, black people made rock music and country music too. So all of those genres was created by black people. All of them. Not even just R&B and hip hop. And I think for us, it's really hard to stop people from doing music. I think when I see someone that's being respectful and that's not appropriating, not making fun of the genre, not disrespecting the creators, like, you know, like an Elvis type that's like taking credit and like stealing from people and you know, not giving people their due diligence, that's when we should have a problem with it, I think. I think that's where we draw the line, because it's just really hard to be like, no white person can make this music, or you know. I do understand when people are frustrated about, you know, a white person getting hyped up just because they're white, doing what tons of black people are doing. I completely understand that, but in this case, that's not what's happening. And I think if you are one of those people frustrated by that, what you should do is go hard for those black artists the way you see them going hard for the white people. Go hard for your black artists instead of spending your energy hating, because that's really not doing nothing. Go hard for the black people, support the black people, go out of your way for the black people to make sure they get their due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my Twitter name is the same as my TikTok, itgirlash. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not pressed, because I've been got past the stage of caring about K-pop stan stuff, but I'm like, I wanted to speak on this since it's my article. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm like, and it looks bad for the whole movement of inclusivity and stuff when y'all choose the wrong situations to get upset at, because then it makes everything seem like, okay, this is just outrage for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm like, they didn't do, like, there's groups that I like. Y'all know I liked Mark Lee a lot in the past, like NCT, and I got frustrated with them in the past because I remember they were teaching, who was it, Shunla English, and him and Johnny, Mark and Johnny, were using AAVE, which they don't normally use. And I'm like, why are you teaching him English with AAVE? Because he's about to talk to Steph Curry. So those are the type of situations, and those are two American people, or like American Canadian, like people from the West who should know better. So I'm like, if y'all tolerate that crap, why are y'all getting mad at a bunch of children, you know, because they're teenagers. They're not that old at all. Y'all getting mad at some children who are not really being disrespectful at all. Like, I can tell y'all straight up that they weren't disrespectful. And that's why I specifically asked them about drill, because I'm like, when I read the information about their album, I'm like, drill, what's up with that? And that was before the song came out. So I was like, I got to ask about this. And so I asked them about drill, and I asked them about those genres specifically because I was like having the same thoughts a lot of people might have about like, what y'all know about drill? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm like, what y'all know about drill? And it was a very, like, they did not, trust me, if they said something crazy, y'all would know about it. If they said something crazy, y'all would have known about it. Like, I'm not the type to let that sort of thing slide. So I'm telling y'all that nothing crazy was said, nothing disrespectful was said. So I'm very surprised when people are like mad, because I'm like, huh? Y'all mad about them inspired by drill. Y'all got to keep the same energy with the other groups that y'all listen to that are also inspired by hip hop and R&B and all these other genres. Like, where do you draw the line? A lot of these people probably listen to K-hip hop and K-R&B and K-pop, where they do these concepts all the time. And usually, so I don't really feel comfort. And here's the thing, y'all are allowed to feel however y'all want to feel about the situations, right? Like, I'm not telling nobody what their personal experience with any fandom is or whatever. I don't know what your experience is. You know, I'm not an engine. I'm just saying from my perspective of what I've seen, I didn't get any weird or disrespectful vibes from the group. I was surprised at their knowledge of Brian McKnight, because I didn't think that was a well-known R&B artist at all, especially internationally. So when they brought up R&B, they brought that up to me. I was like, I see that there's a genuine interest from these guys to know more about this sort of music. And they were very humble about the way they talked about drill. They were very humble about the way they talked about drill. Like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, here's the thing. They could have been like, oh yeah, we wanted to be hood rats, yada, yada. Like, it was no weird energy at all. It was not weird at all. And I would tell you if it was weird, and it wasn't. So that's why I'm like, I really wish that people would read things and not spew negativity without any reasoning, because the world is just so like in shambles right now that like people are just trying to enjoy music and live their lives, and y'all are making such a huge deal out of such a not threatening thing. Yeah. And I'm just like, if anybody was trying to come for me, I'm the wrong person, because you're not going to win an argument with me. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. I don't just interview K-pop idols. I interview black artists. I interview R&B artists. Like, I know my music. So I'm telling y'all that I didn't see no red flags with these boys. And that's just what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, this the wrong time to have your pitchforks up. Yeah, so and I'm like, can we please be consistent with what we choose to get angry at as well? Because if your group is doing R&B and hip hop concepts or inspired by the music, in any way, shape, or form, which if you are a K-pop stan, I 100% promise you that they have done some sort of hip-hop, R&B, something at some point, like there's absolutely no way they haven't, then you really can't speak on this. Like, you really can't be, like, mad in this situation. You're amazing what you do. Thank you. And also, y'all, like, I'm gonna be honest, I advocated, like, this is another thing, because I remember when, I feel like every time I interview Enhypen for the Grammys, it's always some sort of controversy or something from non-stans, from people that don't even like Enhypen. Because when I first interviewed them, I'm the one that did their other interview, their first interview for Grammy. It got released in early 2021, but I think we did the interview in like 2020. I remember everybody was mad because I had said that in the press conference, the boys joked about, oh, we want to be invited. They were like, they saw that I was from Grammy and they were like, oh, so one day we want to be invited to the Grammys. And so I tweeted that because, you know, sometimes I tweet out tidbits under my article. And some people were happy, but there's a lot of people that were like, they're trying to skip, you know, this and that. They're trying to do this. And they're like, oh, big hit privilege. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Because it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep at all. Like, bro, I was like, child, y'all are crazy. And then people was mad that they got a Grammy article in the first place. And I'm like, y'all realize that having an article for Grammy.com does not mean you about to get invited to the Grammys. Like, they're not skipping any steps. If the group is making noise and has popularity, then obviously this music site would be interested in interviewing them. Like, that, I don't think that's skipping any steps. So when I proposed Enhypen's interview to Grammy, I was like, hey, Enhypen's people reached out to me, because I work with this publicist a lot, and she's like, do you have any outlets you want to interview Enhypen for? And I was like, okay, let me check with my outlets. So I checked for Grammy. This is the first time that I put them in Grammy, okay? I checked with Grammy, and I told them about Enhypen. I said their stats, this, that, and the other. And they were like, yeah, we want to run this story. So I'm like, and then once I debuted the story online, it got a lot of engagement, okay? This is a business. If they're getting the numbers on the website and they're getting the clicks, then Grammy is happy. Like, they don't care about, you know, the fan wars and all this, that, and the other, okay? So the article did well. It was number one on the site within, like, very short period of time. And so when I brought it up to Grammy again this year, and I was like, hey, so-and-so wants me to interview Enhypen for the Grammys. Like, are you interested? And he was like, yeah. Like, we're very interested. And I think the Recording Academy follows Enhypen on Instagram, too. So, like, I introduced Enhypen to the Grammys 2 years ago, and I put them in there again this time. So I'm like, if y'all are clicking on this article and giving it engagement, you're going to encourage them to keep working with the group, because now they see, hey, people care about this group. So whether it's good clicking or bad clicking, it's still clicking. You're still giving engagement to the site, you know? So yeah, if people want to be mad at me for interviewing them for the Grammys, and doing what I'm being paid to do, then people can be mad. I don't care. Not everybody gonna like you. You know what I'm saying? But I really think that the people whose opinions matter, who, you know, the people who are like mine and the people who are deciding who gets to be on the website, the people whose opinion matters, don't have a problem with them. So that's why I said y'all shouldn't be pressed. If you're a fan of Enhypen, don't be pressed about, you know, the negative stuff that you're seeing, because those people's random opinions on Twitter is not going to change whether they get interviewed or not. Not going to change this, that, or the other. They have no power over their careers. So they're going to be good either way. And I'm like, y'all really, like, I know I did a good job in my interview. Thank y'all for saying that. But I'm like, y'all not going to make me pressed about this. And I'm like, if anybody was dragging me, which I didn't see any dragging, but I saw some people were saying people were dragging me. If anybody was dragging me, you can continue to stay home while I talk to your face. That's all I got to say. because no, I swear I saw somebody tweeted like something about Enhypen hates black people, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, what? Y'all just getting stuff out of y'all butts and just saying it. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm like, where are y'all getting that information from? I'm like, I don't interview anybody that hates black people because that's the opposite of my brand. I really don't think they hate black people. Like, I'll promise you that. I don't think that's the case. So please don't throw those sorts of accusations around. Like, that's that's crazy to me. But like at the end of the day, y'all, I was just like, this is just, I can tell when people are just mad just to be mad. And I've seen that a lot. Like, I've been doing, trust me, don't be worried about me, because I get dragged by different K-pop stans no matter what the article is. Like, I've done articles on CA. I remember I put so many different groups in there, including groups that I liked. I put BTS in there. I put Kai in there. I put so many different groups. I was getting dragged left and right on Twitter. And guess what? Editors was reaching out to me. People was like, are you okay? Offering me, followed me on Twitter. I'm like, y'all are helping my career. Thank you. The visibility helps. Okay. The visibility truly helps, child. So yeah, that's why when I saw that Tyler the Creator tweet earlier today, I was like, this is so perfect for right now. Like, all y'all do is argue. Go outside. Like, please go outside. Like, it's literally, I used to, you know what? I used to let the whole people dragging me on online thing get to me. But like, when it happens so much, and as long as there's no like doxing or anything, I'm like, y'all are jobless. Like, people will try to drag you for stuff, and I'm like, you will never meet your fave. I think that's where the bitterness is coming from for a lot of these people. Like, you have no access to your fave. Your fave does not know who you are. So maybe that's why you're mad, because I'm like, there's no reason to get mad. I got paid to talk to them, and I had a good time. It was a win-win for me. I'm happy. Like, nobody can take that situation away from me, because I got paid the same whether y'all clicked on the article, mad at the article or not. Because I'm like, guess what? Your fave knows my name. My name was said multiple times, okay? So, if that's what you're mad about, cool for you. So yeah, y'all, like, you gotta, when you work in entertainment and you do stuff that stands interact with, you always gotta be aware of this stuff. You always gotta, know how to respond, not take anything too seriously. I got a lot of genuine inquiries from Jeans asking me, like, if anything could be done about the tweet. So that's why I wanted to say, like, y'all don't have to worry about the tweet, okay? It'll blow over. Yes, Jake said, shout out to Ashley. Unprovoked, too. Unprovoked. Like, literally, and I've said this, some of y'all might not have heard this, but I said this the other day, that literally, I was just asking them, like, oh, do you guys have any last words? And then Jake was translating for people. He was like, Majimak, Majimak. And I'm like, not him doing it, so the translator don't have to. And he's like, Majimak, Majimak. And everybody was like, oh. So then somebody was like, oh, we really enjoy working on this album, this, that, and the other. And then Jake was like, shout out to Ashley. And I'm like, oh my God. That's not what I was asking, but okay. I'm like, he's really, like, throughout the whole interview, they were all good, because I know people were asking me about the other members as well. They were all really, really nice, because I told y'all in the other TikTok that, like, there are some groups that are, like, just really boring to interview, or, like, it really feels like work. And with them, the time flew by so fast. It was just a really good vibe. The guys were all nice. Everybody that watched the interview after me, because I had my friend transcribe it, she's like, wow, they were really, like, she's like, I really like them. And I showed somebody that I had a consultation with, and she was like, I like them. Like, anybody that saw the interview was like, I really like them, like, they're really nice, and all this other stuff. And these are unbiased people that don't care this way, one way or another, right? Like, these aren't people with any bias towards the group. anybody that saw it was like, wow, they're really nice. Like, like that, like it's surprisingly nice. So it was a good vibe. Like I would not lie for the group. Okay. I wouldn't say this if they weren't nice. I have no reason to make anything up. Like it was good vibes. And I've done a lot. Like if y'all look at my portfolio, I've done a lot of interviews with a lot of different artists. All sorts, small, big, Korean, non-Korean. I've worked with a lot of people. I'm gonna be honest, I literally had to go to set right after my interview. My interview was at 6:30 a.m. I was barely awake, and somehow went by like that. Who was it? He sung, and I told y'all about the Brian McKnight thing. He asked me about Brian McKnight, and I was like really surprised about that. Because they were saying a lot of black genres, but like not just hip hop R&B. They're like gospel and him to specifically say Brian McKnight, like he could have just said R&B or soul, but he was like, he gave a specific example of the type of music he was talking about, and then he engaged with me about it. And I'm like, I just didn't expect that from a group this young. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these groups will give you the most general answers when you ask them about genre. Like you could tell that they're really thinking about what they were saying. And they really like had like, oh, I really want to do this. Like I really want to do gospel. I really want to do Brian McKnight style. And he's like, do you know Brian McKnight? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that name. And he's like, yeah. And then they all started laughing. And I'm just like, I really enjoy that. I think Hype groups and Hype related groups in general tend to have a little bit more cultural understanding and awareness than other K-pop groups. And y'all can fight me about that. I don't really care either way, but that's my opinion. From what I've seen, working with a lot of different artists. And I'm just like, it's just refreshing. It doesn't happen a lot. And it's not just Hype groups, you know. But it's just refreshing. I think things are getting better. I think sometimes when we see that a K-pop group is doing a hip-hop concept, in the past, I've seen a bunch of CA, a bunch of caricatures of black people. I even see it today. And so to see them do a hip-hop concept or a drill concept, and no disrespect, no gang signs, you know, nothing trying to like appropriate the lifestyle, which I think that's when you should be getting upset, is when you see them trying to appropriate a lifestyle that they don't understand, which didn't happen in this case. It was I don't think you can look at the music video. Like, you can feel how you want to feel about the music. Like, not everybody's going to like how the music sounds. That's valid, you know, a valid opinion. But, like, don't go saying they're disrespecting black people, because that's not what was happening. I'm telling you that now. It was no different from any other K-pop video that is doing the hip-hop concept. You know, like, I've seen some stuff in the K-pop scene. This not the thing for y'all to get mad at. And I promise y'all, we wouldn't have published it if it was some bull crap going on, okay? Have you interviewed any SM groups yet? Yes. I've interviewed Taemin like 3-4 times. That's my buddy, okay? So I talk in depth with these boys about their music, and about when I see that there's artists that really love black music, like, we talk about that. We talk about that. I ask them the hard questions, you know? So I'm like, it's refreshing, okay? But yeah, y'all, like, I just wanted to get on here and say all that. And also, like, if you're one of those people that's genuinely interested in learning how to interview K-pop idols, like, my DMs are open. I am still booking consultations. I know there's some people that want to see the interviews. I can't post the interview, but I'm pretty sure their team told me they might be releasing some behind the scenes content. They asked me for permission to be in it or something like that. I don't know if they're actually going to release it, but she said might. So if it does get released, if parts get released, then I'll say that. Have you ever done an interview you end up not posting because the artist said something problematic? I don't think I've had a situation where they've said something problematic, but I've had to reach out to companies after the fact when some stuff happened with the group, and I remember they just didn't respond to it. Like, that happened. I'm not going to say what company or what group, but I remember I had just gotten the article released, and me and some of my friends who were like South Asian, who were also offended by what happened, decided to contact the publicist that we work with and say, hey, like, is there any way that the guys can address this situation that just happened? And they didn't respond to us. But then we emailed them about something else, and they respond, they act like nothing happened. And these are like, this was their American record label. You know, they're American press people that wouldn't speak on it. So I'm just like, there's been situations where I'm like, okay, I gotta take a break from a group. Like, I've blocked groups for a year or more because they was being disrespectful. So like it gets real out here. And as a black person, you know, you gotta be cognizant of these things, and you gotta do what feels right to you. And I got my racism blinders on. I'm always aware of that sort of situation, always looking for it. So for me, these boys were in the clear. That's what I'm saying. And y'all can feel how you want to feel about fandoms and fan wars and this, that, and the other. I'm not telling y'all how to feel about that, but I'm saying from my perspective, this is how I feel. Yeah. Yes, Enhypen US tour in October. Yes. I had to keep that under wraps, okay? Oh, some of y'all might not know this, but originally, before they made the tour announcement, we didn't know when we were publishing the article. And Sunu, if y'all read the article, which I know most of the fans read it, a lot of the other people didn't, but Sunu spoke about the tour. I asked him about the tour. And because we didn't know when the article was getting released, the publicist was like, oh, if you guys want to release it early, then we need you to take out Sunu's answer. We need you to take out Sunu's answer because we can't have that in there. We can't before we make the tour announcement. And I was like, nah, we'll just wait because I'm not taking out Sunu's answer. Like that. I was like, I'm not going to take this boy's answer out of the article just because we want to put the article out 2 days early. Like we could just wait. Like, not even make any sense. Like, why would we take his part out of the article? Like, I was like, wow, that was. So we waited. And so it came out after the tour announcement so that everybody's answers could be included. So yeah, like these are just little behind the scenes things that are going on that, you know, people don't know about. I knew about the tour for maybe 2-3 weeks before it got announced. So I was like, this is cool. Like the US tour is cool. I know they had a KCON LA thing coming up. For people asking if I'm going to go to tour, I would like to. So if I can get press passes and I'm still in the US at that time, I'll definitely go. Yeah, I think it would be fun to see them on tour. I wanna talk to them in person. I wanna see what the vibes are like in person. Cause Zoom gives you a pretty good idea, but you know how it is in person. And I'm like, Grammy times Enhypen crew. Not you hiding it, right? There's so much stuff that I hide. Okay, I be knowing so many things about these K-pop groups that I gotta keep under wraps, and I can't say anything until afterwards are released. This has happened with BTS before. I've literally watched TXT's dance practices and stuff like months before it got released. Like I was on a call with somebody from Hype, and they were like, can we show you TXT's? They were like, can we show you TXT's choreography, yada yada? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, what do you think? So yeah, you see a lot of stuff when you're working in music journalism. And y'all, if it wouldn't be so funny if I got a picture with them and then we posted it and then we were like, haters gonna hate. Y'all mad at home. That would be so funny. That'd be so funny. Like in-person stuff really hit different. It really hit different. I'm manifest that for y'all. Like, I'm gonna get my selfie. Y'all better, if we get the selfie, y'all better hype it up. If we get the selfie. And I promise you, Jake will probably, I wouldn't be surprised if Jake remembered me because it was a vibe the whole time. It was like literally like it was just and you know, I think I said this yesterday, but I think what really makes a difference is that they work with so many older white people, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't, so it's not normal that they have somebody that's like literally in their age range that's also a person of color that they get to like talk to for a major media outlet like Grammy. So that's why I'm really thankful that the Recording Academy has given me the opportunity to show them these groups that they'd never heard of. Because before I said Enhypen to them, they had never heard this group. And literally, like, my Grammy editor used Enhypen as an example when he was asking me for other, pitches. He was like, feel free to send pitches of if you find any new groups, any new burgeoning acts like Enhypen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, like that. They really vibe with the Enhypen thing. And he was like, yeah, if you find any other, young, hip groups that we might not know about, or like artists, like, please, like, let us know, share. So I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. Cause I like that. So if y'all ever have any recommendations of anybody that's doing numbers, like, hit me up. I'm always looking for ideas. Another thing I want to say is I have another K-pop interview scheduled for next Monday. I'm not going to tell y'all the group, but y'all should be excited, for Grammy again. And then I have another for an 88 Rising artist that's happening soon too. They just asked me to. So this is going to be great, y'all. Boy or girl group? It's a boy. So the 88 Rising artist is a girl, and the group I'm interviewing is a boy group. So stay tuned for those. That's why I say, y'all, like, I've been doing a lot of K-pop stuff this summer, as far as like and they just been keeping me booked and busy at this point. You should try doing P1 Harmony. My friend is a P1 Harmony publicist, and she invited me to their show for free. So I went to that. And I had another friend that was working on their tour. So maybe I'll interview, like, I think me and Kehoe will get along really well. Somebody said, are you you guys gonna have to see. We got a call scheduled soon. Zoom. 2 Zooms with the 88 Rising artists and with the K-pop group. Good thing is haters help push your article to the top. Right. The article trending on the Grammy website. Thanks, y'all. Y'all be doing hey, keep clicking. What you think of Enhypen's music? Oh, you know what? I actually said this before, but they have the same producers as like BTS and TXT, and you can really tell because it's a really high quality production, and they can really sing. I think Fever, and I like Give and Taken. I like Not For Sale as well. That's what I've gotten around to hearing besides the new album. So I like those a lot. I think Fever is a very, very, very strong song. And like, Enhypen does really good numbers on Spotify, especially compared to other groups. Like, y'all can hate all you want, but this group's gonna be really big. Like, they're already doing a lot of big things, and like, y'all can say, oh, they have a big company behind them. A lot of people have help in the industry. A lot of successful people have help in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't negate talent. Because think about it. They had to be talented to get to this place, to have this support from a major label. Like, y'all some people don't understand how the music industry works, so they use, they have a big record label or this, that, and the other as like a drag. And it's like, no. Like, it's kind of hard to get to this place where you have that support. You know what I'm saying? Jake Wright, shout out for a new album. Oh, another funny thing I didn't mention is that y'all probably saw if you read the article, but I literally specifically asked Jake about his songwriting on the album. And so I was like, Jake! I said Jake, but I like enunciated his name a bit much. And everybody was like, huh. He was taken aback. And then they all started laughing. And I'm like, well, dang, my fault? I'm up here screaming. Like, hey, caught him off guard then. But hey, so he probably tried to get me back with that. Shout out to Ashley. He was definitely trying to get me back. I peeped the pettiness, okay? I peep. He's like, you ain't about to, I got you. You said my name, I said yours. We even now. Somebody said, I think Enhypen is the only group with potential to match BTS. I guess we have to wait and see. You never know. I need to, okay, y'all are talking about songs from the new album. I have not listened to the new album enough to know which songs I like from it. So I'm going to have to get back to y'all on that. Because I know a lot of the guys mentioned Paradox Invasion and Shout Out. So I'm going to listen to those again because I cannot remember how they go off the top of my head. So yeah, I would like to see. And honestly, the guys are also like on no thirst. I'm not on no thirsty crap. I promise you I'm not on no thirsty crap right now. But they are very attractive. Okay? I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Because y'all don't see what I be seeing, okay? So I'm just let y'all know. They do look good. Let's see. Cause I told y'all, I do not be swooning over these K-pop boys. I don't. I don't be swooning over nobody these days. So I really was like, I went to this interview with literally the mindset like, okay, I got to get this interview done so I can go on with the rest of my day. And so I went into the interview, and when I was up here laughing every 2 seconds, I'm like, wait, this is not what I expected. This is not the energy I expected to have. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. But I kept my composure. Okay, I kept my composure. Who'd you find the cutest? Oh, child, I'm so sorry. Let me look up their names right now so I can say the right person. Let me look up their names. I be forgetting, y'all. I know Jake. I know Nikki. I know Jungwon. Jungwon was talking a lot, so it was like impossible not to know Jungwon. I think before I talked to them and saw them, I think I liked Sunghoon. Sunghoon. Is that the figure skater dude? I think I thought he was the cutest back before I interviewed them, but like based off personality, I still like Sunghoon's still cool. Don't get me wrong, but I really like Jake. I really like Jake. Jake was real. Like if I'm going in with no bias and I'm just like, I had never seen him before. Like Jake definitely is the one that stood out because he has a cute accent. To be honest, like I showed my friend, she was like, it doesn't sound Australian. It's something else. But like obviously he's Australian, so I don't know how to pinpoint the accent. But it doesn't sound like a typical Australian because I have Australian friends. But yeah, Jake is adorable. Yeah, he's definitely like, okay, I'm attracted to people that flirt a lot. Jake flirts a lot. Like those are the vibes I was getting. Like it's giving flirtatious. So I like those vibes. How was Nikki during the interview? Oh, they about to ask you a bunch of weird questions. Nikki was cool. Nikki, he laughed a lot. He answered well. Yeah, he was chill. He didn't do nothing crazy. But I'm gonna be honest, if I already knew that he was the youngest going in, so I knew he was a minor, so I wasn't about to be on no funny crap with him. But if I had went in without knowing, ages, I'd probably think he was the same age as everybody else because he was like really mature. Not you expose him as a flirt. Listen, that man was flirting. I'm just leave it at that. Can you save the live, please? Yeah, I'll save the live. I don't know if I can post it somewhere though. What y'all want me to do with the live? I know I can save it on my end, but I don't know if y'all can see it. But maybe I could post it somewhere for y'all to see it, or I can DM it to somebody if y'all want it. What do you think about Jungwon? Jungwon has very bright energy. His hair is red right now. He was talking a lot. Like, is he the leader? Who was the leader of the group, child? Because I didn't forgot. I remember it when I'm writing the article, but then after the fact, I'm like, what's going on? Okay, so he's a leader. Okay, he gives leader energy. Because even though he couldn't speak English, he was very much like talking a lot, like very engaged. Honestly, all of them were engaged. Actually, let me pull up the interview just for me to look at. Don't get excited now. For me to look at, because I'm trying to see some. Let's see. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all the order they're sitting in. So this is Sunu, Jungwon. No. Sunu, Sunghoon, Heesung, Jungwon, Jake, Jay, and then Nikki. That's the order they're sitting in. Yeah. They were wearing cute outfits. They're all like, I like how they had like a matching color palette. Yeah, the outfits were cute. They all have on black shoes. They're all sitting on like stools. Jungwon's like dead in the middle in the front. Jay was really cool. Jay's the one that told me after Jake said shout out to Ashley, Jay was like, it was a pleasure. This interview was a pleasure. He said that in English. That was the first thing he said in English. I'm like, oh, not him accommodating me. He had to make sure I understood that. He didn't want them to have to translate for him. He said that in English for me. And I'm like, I know they butts hurt in these stools. That must be why they're so fidgety. And Jake and it's scary, y'all, because literally they have my face on this huge screen in front of them to look at during the interview. So they're staring at my face on this big screen, and I'm staring at them on this screen. And I'm like, this is why you can't never look hit in these interviews. Because if you look hit, all of them boys gonna see it. Oh, Jungwon's sick right now. He's sick and y'all up here trying to drag them on Twitter. That's crazy. Child, why is Sunu pointing at me? Why is Sunu pointed? What's going on here? Hold on, let me listen. Cause I'm like, what? I'll be forgetting some stuff till I watch. Oh my God, his laugh. Jake's laugh is like this is like Jake is like like this is when we first started the interview and we're just saying hi and Jake's like I'm sorry. I'm like, what is he doing? Why he laughing like that, bro? Lo, like he was literally like he was literally laughing the whole time. Like, dude, what's funny? Nothing funny is happening. Like, why are you laughing? He was so giggly, bro. Oh my God. That just made me laugh. I didn't expect it to sound like that. Literally nothing happened. Like, I don't know why he laughing like that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I don't know how I survived this. I don't know how I survived this. Because, like, I'm looking at it now and I'm blushing. Because I'm like, oh my God. Oh, they're so cute. Wait, hold up. Okay, wait. Let's see. Okay, for y'all asking if I could, I can't post it. But maybe I can. I don't think it'll be the end of the world if I let y'all hear a little bit. Will it be the end of the world if I let y'all hear a little bit of what he sounded like when he said shout out to Jake? I mean, shout out to, not me saying shout out to Jake. Shout out to Ashley. A little bit, okay. I'm gonna just play that little bit and then stop it. But y'all not gonna see it. Y'all not gonna see anything. Y'all not gonna see anything, okay? Y'all ain't seeing no video. Y'all ain't seeing the image. I think that's a safe thing for y'all to hear. I think that's safe for y'all to hear. Okay. Okay, let me find the timestamp. There was literally no reason for him to say that. Okay, hold up. I think I found it. Okay. Hopefully my audio works. Not they gonna screen record you. I don't know if I can trust y'all now that I think about it. It's a lot of people in here. It's a lot of people in here. But y'all have heard his laugh before. If I accidentally have... Okay, I have this on right now. Let me see if my headphones work. Don't risk it. I don't trust y'all. It's a lot of people in here I don't know. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to get in trouble. But it's cool. It's cool. I thought about that. I'm like, maybe not. This is the Enhypen Grammy interview. Y'all might see the behind the scenes footage if they end up posting it like they said though. Y'all trying to get me in trouble, okay? If I get a text from the publicist saying, "Why is this online?" It's gonna be she gonna be like, "Ashley, why is this online?" Like, literally, because I'm working with her right now on this other K-pop interview that we have next week. Like, literally, I was like, the Grammy editor literally asked me to interview this other group that she also represents. And I'm like, Grammy wants us to do this. And she's like, hold up, let me see something. Yeah, I ain't trusting y'all because the way y'all be acting online, nah. But let me listen to him say it. How about this? I'll listen to him say it and then I'll say it exactly how he said it. Okay, how about that? Let's see. Somebody said, keep your job. Okay. Let me see. Are there any last things you guys want to say before we're done? Majimak. Everybody said Majimak. Okay. Jake pointed at me and said, I really want to say stay tuned for this album. Somebody's coughing. Y'all, who did y'all say was sick? Jungwon? Jungwon? Nah, they might be posting some snippets of this because the publicist said that. I'm like, the publicist did say that in the emails, like, we might be posting some of this stuff. Like, are you okay with it? It'll come out after the interview. And I was like, yeah, I'm cool with it. Y'all be the ones saying don't post. So I'm like, yeah. Okay, yeah, somebody is coughing in this interview. I'm trying to figure out who it is. Like, like it's a lot of that happening. He literally said that, okay, the translator was translating what Jungwon just said. So Jungwon just said, we really worked hard for this album. And then Jake is like, and shout out to Ashley. Can't forget that. That's the most important part, okay? Shout out to Ashley. That's the most important part. I was so mad when they took that out of the transcript. Because I literally told my editor, I'm like, so there was a little bit of banter. Like, I put it in there. Y'all can take it out if y'all want. And they took it out. But I'm like, yeah, I'm like, as soon as he broke the fourth wall, I'm like, they gonna take this out for sure. Because they're not gonna let this stay in. I was like, ain't no way they letting this stay in the interview. Like, it's unprofessional. They're not gonna keep it in. It's a YN moment. They're not gonna keep it in. And of course, they took it out. Because, you know, I bet you if he said shout out to Grammy, they would have kept it in. But he wasn't acknowledging the Grammys. He's acknowledging Ashley because they only know Ashley. They don't know the big scary Grammy people. Who do you think is the most attractive? Personality wise, Jake. But I think I made that kind of obvious. I don't think I'm hiding that very well. I don't think I'm hiding it very well. And some of y'all don't know, I've actually interviewed them. This is actually the third time I've interviewed them. So I interviewed them first time for Grammy. Then I did an interview with them for Hypepen because it was too soon to do another Grammy interview. And then came over back for the Grammys this year and did another Grammy interview. So there's going to be like, I'm the Grammy contact for these people for the most part. So this is who, Jakey. How was He-sung? He-sung, I told y'all, I liked He-sung as well. Like, He-sung was really, really cool. There was one part of the interview where He-sung had answered a question, and the translator was saying attractive, because he said the word attractive, like, twice. It's in the interview, so if y'all want to go and find it, we included it in the article, but he said attractive. And then when he said attractive, him and Jake started fist bumping. They're like, yeah, attractive. And I'm like, what's going on now? What y'all got going on? I wanna laugh too. Like, what's the joke? But they were like so tickled at the word attractive, and I'm like, wow. Sunu was pointing at me at the beginning of the interview, and then he answered a few questions. He answered the tour question. I remember he was the person that answered that one. A lot of they were all okay. There's like 50 million different YN moments in this one interview. Like, there's a lot. Like, it was a vibe. Like, I'm telling y'all, it was a vibe. Like, I've done a lot of interviews. This one was a vibe. Jake is drinking water. I didn't even realize they had water at their feet. Yeah, they have, like, water bottles, so Jake was just drinking some water. He-sung is speaking in Korean right now. All of them said something at one point. Sunghoon answered a question towards the end. Sunghoon was probably the quietest. I'd say if there was a quiet member, there's definitely Sunghoon was the quietest. But he was still, like, paying attention and listening throughout the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's never going to be an equal amount of talking. Like, there's always some members that talk more than others. So, like, it's not a big deal. As long as everybody gets their chance to say something, like, it's cool. Can you understand much of their Korean? I can understand a little bit. But I never speak Korean to the guys because, like, my Korean is not... I'm not confident enough in my Korean. Like, obviously, they wouldn't be mean about it if I said something wrong for obvious reasons. But, like, you know, like, I just think it gets the interview to go quicker if I just speak English. How was Nikki? Nikki is cool. Nikki, so the order that they're sitting in, Sunu and Nikki are on the ends in the back. And Jake and He-sung are in between them. So Jake and He-sung were interacting a lot. If you could probably tell that Like, I literally wrote a transcription that, especially during the genre question, Jake was like, Heesung wants to try this and this, that, and the other. Did you stay in Korea for a while? I used to live in Korea, so I lived in Korea for 4 months in like 2019, and then after I came back from Korea is when I started interviewing K-pop idols. So I learned a lot about K-pop when I was in Korea. I went to a ton of different K-pop events, so I did my research, okay? Hey, I like introvert boys though. It's super cool. Like, boys that are quiet are cool too. No, I did not interview them in person. I interviewed them via Zoom, so that's what I'm looking at right now, is our Zoom recording. Leah. Okay, y'all are asking about Jay. Let me see. This translator was stumbling over her words a lot, to be honest. I'm like, I know they is probably like, oh, this is the fun part. Ooh, I'm so tempted to show y'all. It's funny because whenever I say the question, you can tell Jake is the only one that understands. And then the rest of them are just like waiting for the translator to finish. And Jake is like, has more time to think about everything than the other members. Hey, that's cool though. The volume you can kind of hear. That's fine. That's a very low volume. As long as I'm not like straight up blasting it, like that's cool. If y'all hearing a little bit of a little, Jay understands too. See, that's what I was confused about, because I'm like, I thought when I looked him up, it said Jay was born in America, but then he didn't speak English to the end, so I was like, I didn't know if he knew English or not. Does he know English? Does he know English? Hold on, let me play the audio without my thing and see if I can hear it. Oh, that's very, very low. That's fine. Also, he does know English? Okay. Cool. Y'all barely hearing anything. Why y'all acting like it's all loud and blasting? Oh, Jay was actually like sitting up. So you can tell, okay, something I pay attention to is body language. Jay was like sitting up, and he's like very engaged. I wish y'all could see their faces right now. Literally every single member is like smiling and staring at me. And Jay is like sitting up like that. And Jake has the biggest smile on his face. And Nikki is smiling. Hey, dang, even Nikki's smiling. Nikki's smiling. Heesung smiling. Sunhoon. Sunu. What happened? Hold up. I'm like, why everybody smiling? What was said? Hold up. Oh, this is the genre question. Oh, they're probably smiling because I look really pretty in this. I hate to say it to y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all know. I never look hit at these interviews. Never that. Oh my god. He wants to try slow jams. Oh, they're dancing too. They started dancing when they were saying the genres. Oh, this is funny. They started dancing. Oh, this is funny. Oh my god. Oh, Heesung got a cover off my face. I gotta look that up. Did I take any pictures of my makeup and outfit? Hold up, y'all. Let me see if I can show what I look like. Let me see if I can show what I look like so y'all can see. I'm going to show only myself. There. Y'all saw. There you go. That's what I was looking like. No slip ups. Y'all thought I was gonna slip up too, huh? That's after what were they saying? They were talking about the genre, and then Jake was just dancing. The interview came out already, so it's on the Grammy website. Yo, I told you they had me blushing, okay? It was impossible not to blush. Okay, I was blushing. Okay, I kept my composure. Though. Okay. Same place you do your lives. Yeah, I literally did my interview sitting right here. Like, you can literally see this in the background. I was sitting right here on my bed with my laptop at like 6:30 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, right before I went to set to shoot this movie. Like, it was a bunch of stuff. Everybody is looking good. Everybody's looking good. It's a vibe. Everybody's under the age of 22. Like, it's a vibe. Ooh, let me get my charger, child. But yeah, I'm glad I ain't look hit, because if I would have been like, you know what, don't even matter, and like showed up looking hit, I would have been mad at myself. Bro, like, I'm for real. If y'all seriously are interested in K-pop journalism, or you want to work with idols, I'm a freelancer. So like, I don't work for anybody. I completely do this freelance. Grammy hits me up for stuff, or in a bunch of other publications, they hit me up to do these articles. And so they're like, hey, you want to interview this K-pop group? Or sometimes I'll be like, hey, can I interview this K-pop group? And then that's pretty much how it goes. So if y'all are interested in that, like, I do consultations. And in my consultation, so I mentioned how some people have seen the interview besides me. It's either my friends who helped me transcribe, or it's people that had consultations with me who I was teaching about journalism or whatever. And I was showing them, like, this is what it's like to conduct the interview. So if you're interested, book a consultation with me. You can DM me for my prices. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can email me. Both of them are linked in my bio, and I can show the interviews in a consultation. I just can't post it on social media. So if you really are that curious about seeing it, like, that's why if y'all saw, one of my friends commented, she was like, they had me want to look into them too, because she saw the interview. And so, because she booked the consultation. So, book one. I just can't post it online, you know what I'm saying? But some people have seen it. Do you need a degree? No, you don't. So when I first interviewed Enhypen, I was a junior in college, and I've never taken a journalism class. I was a communications major. I just finished college this year. So for like 2-3 years that I was doing this, I had no college degree, and I had no journalism experience. I just was really passionate about music and groups, and I was a good writer. And so that's what it was. When does the interview video come out? The video, it's not a video interview. So these are like private interviews when it's an article. Does your location matter? No, your location doesn't matter. If you can read and speak in English, then you can, and you can write well, then you can probably do it from anywhere, because you can do interviews remotely now because of technology. Thank you guys. Oh, it's so nice to have all you guys in here. Yes, if you're serious about journalism, or like this is a career field you want to know more about, or if you're just interested in entertainment, because I do a lot of entertainment stuff, not just this sort of thing, then hit me up. Book a consultation. I'm open book, and I'm still booking right now. And I really like helping young people get involved, because I started this when I was 19. So I'm the same age and younger than most of the people I interview, which I think really adds a different element to the interviews. I think the guys, you can just tell, are a lot more comfortable. Because like, this is something I mentioned yesterday, but like, if I wasn't black, I don't know if they would have been like, do you know Brian McKnight? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they would have been comfortable saying some of the things they say if I wasn't a black person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's a different level of comfort. Like, they get interviewed by a lot of like older white people, right? And like, if you say Grammy, you're probably thinking, oh, it's about to be really intimidating. It's about to be older people. It's about to be somebody that doesn't look like me, yada, yada. But instead, you see this girl that's practically the same age as you, that's also a person of color, and you're just able to talk comfortably, and then all that pressure is taken off. You know what I'm saying? So it's no longer like, oh my God, like, you have to impress them, you have to do this. Like, they're allowed to exist the way that they exist. And I think that's important. And then we can talk about stuff like the drill music. Like, it's very different having a black person ask you about drill music than it is if a random white person was like, why are you guys doing drill music? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't ask them in like an accusatory way, right? It was more like, why are you guys doing drill music? Like, what do you what is your reason for trying new genres? And you know, I think their answer really just says their answer was satisfactory to me. Like, I think that there's a lot of different diverse music styles out there, and K-pop has always just been about trying different things and putting them together, and like that's always been what it is. People saying please save the live. For people saying to save the live, what y'all want me to do with it? Because I can save lives on my end for TikTok, but I don't think it's gonna get posted. So like, does somebody want me to send them the live? Like, what y'all want me to do with it if I saved a live? What is drill music? So drill is a sector of hip hop. Some popular drill artists right now, if you guys want to look into it, is Fivio Foreign, Pop Smoke. I'm sure these are the types of people that they took inspiration from. So yeah, if any of you guys are in jeans and you've never heard drill music, this is a great time to probably do what the boys did, which is look into the music, see like where they got their inspiration from. So Pop Smoke is a really great place to start. I like the song Dior. Fivio Foreign has a lot of drill songs. Cardi B is on a drill song called Shake It, if you want to look that up. So like, look into some, prove everybody wrong, y'all. UK has a lot of drill music too. There's a lot of drill artists like around the world. So if you guys want to look more into the genres your faves like, then I would say do some research on drill music. Hey, and here's a good thing. When you see these people that are like hating on your groups and saying they're ignorant, yada yada, I think one thing you can do as a fan to prove them wrong is do the research yourself and show like, hey, we as a fandom are doing the research, giving proper credit to these artists and supporting these smaller people instead of just like engaging in fan wars. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what y'all should do. Like, hey, we're looking into drill artists like this, and like, this is our favorite drill song. Like, say like, cause I think that's what people were scared of that were criticizing this, is that they're going to get all the credit for the sound and nobody knows who the creators are. So go out of your way to find those creators, to find, you know, the black artists that are doing this music and shout them out, you know, because that's really what it is. And then they don't have anything to say, because if you're giving credit to the original people and you're supporting those original artists, then that's all people can ask for, right? So yeah, like, and if you did it before, do it again, right? Now that it's a new topic. So yeah, and heck, maybe you could put Enhypen's drill song in there too and be like, drill playlist, you know what I'm saying? So that's just an idea. Like all of this stuff is, when you see this like ignorance and just people getting mad about stuff, like, don't even entertain all of that crap. Just like, be the bigger person, do what you know is the right thing to do, and keep on pushing. Because a lot of them, instead of trying to find ways to help these black artists get more visibility, which is what Heesung did by shouting Brian McKnight out in his interview. Here's the thing, I didn't ask him about an artist. He volunteered Brian McKnight's name, and he started a conversation about it. Like, he brought it up and he said, hey, do you know Brian McKnight? He didn't say, he could have just said soul music. He could just say gospel and left it at that. But he was like, let me bring up a specific artist that I'm inspired by, whose music I want to make. And let me see, have you heard of this person? That's literally what it is. Like, you can't even be mad at that. Can't even be mad at that. So I'm like, I encourage y'all to do the same thing. Like, be cultured, listen to more music than just K-pop. Like, I really think it's weird when people only listen to K-pop. Like, even your faves don't listen to K-pop. Like, listen to other genres. Like, that's how K-pop is made. It's inspiration from other genres. So like, be aware. Like, let's uplift all POC artists, okay? Like, we supposed to be championing diversity over here. That's why I work hard to get these Korean groups in the Grammys, because like y'all see, like, sometimes they don't get the awards, they don't get the visibility. But if they're seeing this positive press about these groups, and they're seeing, like, some people might have clicked on this article and been like, hey, let me check out this group. Or they might see Drill, somebody that's a local and doesn't listen to K-pop. They might see Drill, which is familiar to them, and be like, hey, let me check out Enhypen. They make drill music? Cool, let me check it out. You know, like, that's a gateway for American people and people who aren't K-pop fans to get into that. So it's just smart marketing. So yeah, y'all, like don't let all of that crap get y'all down. It's really like, the world is, there's too much important stuff going on in the world to be pressed about this particular issue. Like, this is not going to stop them from going further. They have friends at Grammy, okay? Nobody is mad at them at Grammy. Nobody thinks they're anything bad at Grammy. So, like, that's all that matters. It's always going to be saying crazy crap online. So, yeah, y'all. That's what we've learned from this situation. So, make sure you're following me on here. Because, like I said, I got a bunch more interviews in the works right now. And when Enhypen has another comeback, maybe I'll see if we can do something for tour. Stay tuned for all that. But make sure you follow me on here, on Twitter. My Twitter's the same as this @ Follow me on Instagram too, because I usually post my articles there and stuff as well. And when I do have a good interview experience, y'all know I always talk about it. Like, I made a TikTok about Rose. I made a TikTok about BM from Card. I made a TikTok about NCT. Like, whenever I meet somebody and it's really like a good experience, I like to talk about it, because a lot of y'all don't know what it's like behind the scenes. Y'all only know what the artists show you, and that's always going to be something different. So, yes, guys, make sure to support the account. We're going to be doing a lot more fun stuff in the future. Thank you guys for watching. I got to get to work on formulating some questions for this next interview. But, yeah, y'all, it's been fun. Bye.